appreciate even the latecomers, and you've said we have to repeat this thing. I'd introduced myself. My name is Kibiriti Paul Makore, Wakili. I'm from Korea community, and here is our statement to the press that we invited you, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for honoring our invitation to attend this important press briefing. We are leaders from the Korea community gathered here today to respond to the recent unfortunate, reckless remarks made by the MP for Imru Dikri, Honorable Johanna Ngeno. In his statement, Honorable Ngeno referred to the Korea people as Tanzanian, accused us of possessing illegal firearms, and made contentious claims regarding the Angata Barikoi land saga. Here is our official response. Point number one, identity and citizenship. We strongly condemn any attempt to distort our identity by falsely asserting that the Kuria are Tanzanians. The Kuria people are an integral part of Kenya with a rich heritage, deep roots, and a long-standing contribution to the development of this nation. We are recognized citizens of Kenya, and any claims suggesting otherwise are misleading and an affront to our dignity. Honorable Johanna Ngeno must issue a public apology for his offensive and unfounded claim. The Kuria community has historically been one of the most peaceful in this country. Despite enduring great injustices in the 1980s, we were forcefully evicted from our central home in Rift Valley under the Moi regime. Yet we did not resort to violence, even though we are descendants of the great warriors of Israel. Point number two, on ethnic origin, every Kenyan community migrated from somewhere. If Honorable Ngeno insists on labeling us as Tanzanian, we remind him that the Kalenjin community to which he belongs migrated from Sudan. If the government cannot protect Kuria lives and land, then we demand that our land and people be officially integrated into Tanzania by extending the international boundary to include our ancestral land in the Rift Valley. Land ownership and historical injustices. The land in question stretching from Gutura, a place where Kuria cultural ceremony are held after every 30 years, about 5 miles from Angata through the river states and inside through to River Migori, bordering Loligorian. This is in respect to the colonial boundaries that were drawn in 1942 and concluded in 1955 after after the Kuria community fully paid up the 7,777 heads of cattle to the Syria community of Masai to settle the boundary dispute. Rightfully belong to the Kuria community, not the Kipsigs or Masai as falsely claimed. Historical accounts show that the Kipsig settlers were moved into this land by former regimes after forcibly evicting the Kuria people. The name Angata Barikoi or Muyuyi, as called by Masai Moyoi, is derived from the Kuria language and means the east, a clear linguistic indicator of the rightful owners. These facts are well documented in the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission, HRC, and the Kenya National Land Commission report. In fact, the NLC went ahead and gazetted the finding on the historical land injustices findings and authored for nullification of all the title issued on that land and recommended for integration of all the people of Kuria community to the land. We therefore demand the full release and implementation of THRC finding. Furthermore, we urge you, the government, to disclose the findings of the inquiry into the murder of Father John Anton Kaisa, as it contained critical insight end land injustices in the Rift Valley. On the proposed land subdivision that happened the other day on Angata Barikoi, where there were chaos, the Kuria community, a peace-loving people, firmly state that the land must not be subdivided unless it is returned to its rightful owners. The Kuria, any attempt to subdivide it otherwise will be challenged through the courts. However, we question whether justice can truly be served when a member of Judicial Service Commission, GAC, Honorable Isaac Ruto, was recently seen supporting Honorable Ngeno's false narrative. This confirms a justified reason to believe that the recent High Court ruling at Naroko setting aside the NLC report was biased and therefore shall form the basis of our appeal against the ruling. And on the note, we therefore demand the immediate resignation of Honorable Ruto from the GAC to preserve the integrity of our justice system, because we are going to appeal and we are going to court. Marginalization and inclusion. The Kuria community has endured systematic marginalization far too long. On the current regime, no a single Kuria has been appointed as a CEO in any state corporation, and this could be the contributory reason Honorable Ngeno could be calling us Tanzanians. As the president prepared to visit our region this weekend, we challenge him to commit to a greater inclusion of the Kuria people in the national leadership and opportunities. Resettlement and compensation. We call upon the government to resettle the people of Kuria back to our rightful land in Rift Valley. If this proves impossible, this is how shows how Kuria community is very peaceful. It understands the matters of land are very emotive. If this proves impossible due to emotive nature of land issue, we are open to fair compensation for the historical injustices we have suffered, so that we may acquire alternative land elsewhere. In conclusion, or rather to conclude our remarks, when a community is denied political and economic recognition, it becomes easier for external forces to exploit its resources, displace its people, and erase its identity, as evidenced by the lack of inclusion of the Kuria people in national leadership and opportunity, especially in government. The continued violation of our land right undermines the principles of justice, equality, and national unity that our country stands for. We shall upon the relevant we shall call upon the relevant authorities to take immediate action to safeguard our community land from illegal occupation and protect our constitutional rights. We also urge all Kenyans to stand with us, all Kenyans to stand with us in rejecting discrimination and misinformation aimed at marginalizing our people. Our commitment to unity and prosperity of Kenya remains unwavering, and we will continue to advocate for fairness and respect for all communities and the rule of law. We deeply respect the rule of law, but we will not tolerate any attempt to belittle or erase the identity, dignity, or rights of the Kuria community. We demand the same respect and recognition be guaranteed to all Kenyan community. Asanteni sana. I think tumeisoma na tumeiongea tena, unless kuna swali lazima uliulize tuweze kulijibu. Sorry? Yes. Yes.